They are very much in sync with the bank's activity. Banks gives security to your wealth. It provides you locker. You keep your jewelry. You withdraw money wherever you want. You use that app for any kind of e-transactions. Everything provides by one bank. So that logo that they have developed is a good example of graphic design. Now I say, now this logo, if you reduce it to suppose 5 mm, it will remain as it is. It will not, you will know, yo, this is a State Bank logo. It is so simplified, yet you can identify the elements there. And once it is increased to suppose 100 feet dia, it remains same. So when we simplify any shape, any object to maximum, but we can retain the very shape, the very identity, very character of that object as it is. That is graphic. Now suppose you design a leaf of lotus leaves in such a way that you will know, okay, oh, this is a lotus leaf. I'm not talking about the aerial point of view, like circular. No, even there's some nice curve, semicircular shape it takes sometimes, and you understand, oh, this is a lotus leaves. Or Mercedes-Benz, I have explained, I think, in the past. It's the whole idea of Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes makes engines, actually, not just the car. So they make engines for the aircraft. There are 3 arms. So one for the aircraft for air, one for speedboats for the water, and one for the land, the car that we use. So there are 3 areas that they diverse their expertise. And again, it speaks about it's circular. It represents movement. And there are so many aspects. Again, when you simplify to suppose 3 mm, you will know, oh, this is Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes logo. Even to enlarge it to maximum, it remains as it is. I remember an ad. Marilyn Monroe has a mole. You must have that famous mole on her upper lips. So there was a campaign by Mercedes. In that mole, they have put that small logo of Mercedes. Wanted to tell something. That was, people say that's the beauty spot of Marilyn Monroe. So that logo I'm talking about is graphic. That you retain that identity as it is. So when we develop, so all this while we have done graphic design, logo, symbol, you must have had You must have designed some, communication design for ad, etc. Some press ad or a newspaper ad. These are all examples of graphic design. So now we expand this thought process. Now, when we associate graphic with environment, there comes environmental graphic design. So here we are not thinking one specific medium. Here we are just extending graphic design to architecture, to environment. It's of late have become very big and famous for last a decade or so, everywhere in the whole world. So earlier people used to think and design from one, drawing board from a row. You create for a press ad or a magazine ad or a poster. But now it is combined with architectural space. So it's more of experiential. It's more direct, It connects to people, whoever visits that. It's more of experiential. It's very beautiful medium have come up. So now you must have seen when you have visited a big mall during the festive season, you must have seen very big graphics or some standees during Christmas or during Navaratri. There are they create that ambience in such a way you feel that, oh, now this is Christmas time, this is New Year. There are big, beautiful stars or reindeer, whatever, in so many ways. And at times they're very graphic. In our country, we are still elaborate, very detailed, because of probably the lack of sense of graphic in our country yet to evolve more. It's happening, but in abroad you get to see very distinctly, very beautifully. And one of the widely seen environmental graphic is Oyo logo in India these days. Oyo. You may travel, you see a big Oyo written, just a big round thing in the corner of any big building. And you know that's Oyo Hotel. Just small, one big Oyo itself, it connects. And then you remember, oh, this place is a Oyo hotel room. Or when you, suppose if you're walking to a big corporate house like Wipro or Microsoft, or in a crossroads, the shop, the crosswords, sorry. You see, they have you see some graphics there. Also, some space in Benetton showroom, if you recollect, they have some color, they play with some colors in some specific area with their tagline, United Colors of Benetton. So, environmental graphics, you develop any specific area. It can be interior, it can be exterior. Now it comes to Priyankaji's field slowly. Also, you must have seen that entire exterior building. Inoko, this is the Microsoft building. In abroad, it's very, very prominent. And it's a very interesting field of graphic where corporates are investing heavily, because it seems now people have not much time to read. They have to just give the first-hand experience. That visual appeal has to be so eye-catchy, and you register immediately the moment you experience that ambience. So it is also, you get to see this in exhibitions. If you, I don't know whether you have visited any trade shows, and big trade shows, you will get to see beautiful exhibition is also part of environmental graphic design. So it involves also the super graphics, basically larger than life size. Your material, you will explore materials. Suppose in material also some other agencies like CNC, where they cut, if you need some specific shape, or water jet, or sandblasting. Sandblasting is a technology. I don't know whether you have seen this. They throw sands in a high speed and it's so hard, it creates a rough texture. You can control that roughness. You want how granules you want, if you want smooth, or you want something very big granules. Or in water jet is one that they throw water in very high speed, and that can cut even wood and metal for some specific shape, because the carpenter can't cut it, or the CNC machine. They cut. You see in every house, as most of the time, some jali, some nape that's been cut on CNC, or in laser. So these are the materials that you will get to see. Lights, various lights, they play. Of course, vinyl and flex, these are very common thing. So basically, you will learn how to execute one idea which is very small for some large space, number one. And number two, it has to be graphic. It has to be simplified, and that speaks about the very character of that company, that very, what do they deal, their business, why, I mean, what are their famous activities, their products, that should reflect in that process that you will develop it now. Like what we have done in illustration is very detailed. Watercolor, color pencils, whatever you have done, it's very detailed thing. And we said, hey, wow, very nice. Now you are moving from detail to minimalistic thing, minimal. But you keep that identity as it is. Suppose the logo of Aisha, that horse, might not be a very good logo once you make it very small for 5 mm. It might merge. You might not see in detail. There are many examples. They are not graphic, but they're doing pretty good because it's been designed in the past. So what you will develop is basically, you will, for this next 2 days, you will surf on internet, you find that different aspects of environmental graphics. They are sometimes interactive, like you must have seen mostly in the metros. It's very, very direct and very powerful way of connecting individuals to the visitors. You touch and you explore, and that's how they give information. Especially in the gaming zones of kids section in a big mall, they have this beautiful interactive games that you can explore by yourself. In the same time, these wayfindings, this is also another environmental graphics. When you travel to a big city or in a big, commercial building, the way they direct you to move. You are in the first floor, here is the lobby, here is the sitting area, or if you're traveling on a highway, the signages, they are beautifully simplified these days. Earlier it wasn't. Okay? In the same time, in the exhibitions, there are so many informations and you have no time. But with visuals, with graphics, they communicate. So you find out from internet for this next 2 days, and we come up with a couple of your best environmental graphic design examples. I'm sure it has been written in detail in the course outcome, in the course structure. Like from day one, you'll keep on writing, whatever it is. And some specific locations. So because now for this next 2 days, you see the areas that has been explored as environmental graphic design. It can be interior, it can be exterior, it can be lobby, it can be absolutely outside in the wild. It can be art installations that connect us with people. like the figure in front of the McDonald joint. Even the kids enjoy. They love to take photograph or play. Yeah. So there are many areas, and you do some research through internet, through books if you have, and you will collect couple of environmental graphic design examples and why did you like it. So from today and tomorrow we'll have this module 1 and module 2 you will be given a specific subject to think. So you will have to connect the dots whatever you will be studying, researching. Okay? Now, okay, Priyanka ji, you can add here and please, Priyanka ji.
So I think so. Niloy sir has mentioned most of it, like all of it for mostly. But as I go for environmental graphics, there are some things I think of like, firstly, what is it a functional piece? Is it a decorative piece? It can be a mood setter, it can be a storytelling piece, or it can be an installation, or it can be a part of branding. So usually when we do office design and things like that, we really need graphics team to help us with the branding of the entire space. So that just not involves a logo and a name or a letter pad with the logo and all the signatures and stuff, but it also, if the graphics of the branding are included in the space in form of environmental graphics, that's when we nail the space. Like that's when we are communicating through and through what the brand is about. Like if you visit McDonald's or maybe a car showroom or all these branded spaces, you'll see that they use their colors overall. They use the character design they done for McDonald's. They use the big M and it's constant in all the spaces. Maybe it's used in different ways. So the environmental graphics it is very powerful tool to energize any space, to communicate any of these ideas you are thinking of. So it can be 2D and it can be 3D. It can be used exterior in an exterior of a building or an interior. You can also use lights, objects, and you can use like 3D forms in it. You can use paint and 2D forms in it. You can use icons in it, and maybe you can do some color blocking or graffiti style or something like that. So it's an open canvas for you. So like I would suggest like you go through famous designs, famous environmental graphics, like how people have perceived environmental graphics all around the world, and how they have implemented it in different ways, and why they are famous and why they're iconic. Like what makes them so amazing. So when you go through all of these things, maybe you'll see where you're diverting towards and what your style is and what you want to talk about. So Niloy sir, maybe.
Yes. See, I'm sure by now you got some idea, and the possibilities is vast because the way it have come from the past and of late with the new emergence of new technologies and various agencies have created, and you can just think in any extent. So as it's not just the logo that comes, it very atmosphere, that very environment.
So if I may add, I was thinking a lot about Mumbai Airport. Have anyone who visited that? Like they talk the entire the story of how India evolved and what was it before and what it is now. So what they are trying to do is they brought in different objects, like not just 2D paintings and colors, but they also brought in 3D objects to communicate that idea of evolution and the idea of depicting India's history to all its visitors.
Yes.
Also, that I see happening that keeps on changing in MoMA, Museum of Modern Art in New York. So, so every time you visit there, there is a different. So the museum keeps changing, except for some iconic pieces which stay there. So every time you visit that place, there is a different kind of storytelling going on. Like they're using artworks, but then they're also doing environmental graphics to enhance their work or to guide like crowd of thousands of people around in the museum. So there they use it as signage as well. So
Yes, beautiful. Like the good example is that our airports, the Mumbai T2 terminus. See the airport, there we had also in the past the normal, you travel, you hold for some time, you wait, 24 hours, you are tired, jet lag. But when you visit these airports, especially the new one, New Delhi and the Mumbai T2 terminus, they have, you get to see the very flavor of our country through art form, through various installations. That, first of all, it gives that awe, it relaxes, you sit there, you release your stress. So this comes in the form of installations. So as we are seeing that the possibilities is vast and you'll be amazed. So let me show you some few slides quickly, or maybe first you go ahead first. Okay, let's see how you come up. All right. Let me see if I can share. Can you see? Is it showing? No?
So I see a black screen right now.
Wait. Now?
It says you're starting to share the content, but I cannot see the content yet.
Can now?
No, sir.
It's showing here. Maybe I'll have to wait till it transmits. Sakshi, can you hear? Can you see?
No, sir, it's still loading.
Okay.
Sir, maybe you could try to reshare.
No, here it's showing, it's saying you are sharing pages.
No, sir, but you could still see the black screen and it says it's starting to share.
Okay, wait, huh?
Yeah, so now something.
Oh, it happened?
Yeah.
I think that probably the file was loading or something.
Okay. We'll have to bear with this. Now.
So maybe we can wait for a minute to see if it works.
And we have to wait for a while. It's happening. Now?
So not yet.
Okay. What should I do? Can anyone? It's here, it's sharing, it's happening. Also, I got the table saying stop sharing. That means it's sharing.
We can see it, sir.
All right, good. Now I can. So here, this one from wayfinding systems. You see the graphics here. They use mostly typographical here. So you can use form, color, material. This is mostly for wayfinding system. This one for exhibition. I'm sure you must have experienced many, but now you'll have to think in the context. So this is environmental graphics. You'll have to create that environment. Whoever the visitor, they should get the connection, They should establish immediately through graphics. So this is another type. This is interactive. Well, this is very elaborate and expensive, but of course, you can think. Here you see in the lobby like this. They're interactive. They are mostly touch screen or sensor based. There are so many types of sensors you get these days. The sound sensors, the touch sensors, the move sensors, the light sensors. So you can use this thing. Even if you want to use sensors, there are few companies in Gujarat, they develop these sensors. So in case this is one amazing work by one Indian artist called Anish Kapoor. He's one of the very famous Indian artists in the whole world now. Though he's settling abroad, but he's from India. This is Anish Kapoor's work. It's more of installations. So it can be any art form also. And this is what you see mostly on space, environment specific, to create it. All right? So So the students, you can start studying, researching through the net. Is it clear, the concept? Anybody? Any one of you have any doubt? Please ask.
Sir,
Ha.
sir, the Hollywood sign would also be an environmental graphic, right?
Yes. That's like one classic example, but that is only one specific place. But here, it's a very beautiful question. But here, how we can recreate it in any other space. See, the Hollywood sign, Hollywood type, whatever you recall it is only that specific area. That's also a good example. It's in a typographical, it's Gothic, it's bold. But here we are talking about not just the type or the symbol, we are also talking about image. You will create new graphics, new form, new motif, new design. Okay, now suppose if you walk, how do I stop this, the sharing? Here it's showing.
Sir, on the top you'll have to.
And now it is shown, okay. So, suppose if you may see what I want you to explore from the internet, the possibilities, because in this point I think you need to search the various aspects of environmental graphics, because it has been keep on adding day by day. It's been happening, it's been going on, and as I said, like, you can become really wild in terms of thinking and executing these ideas, your ideas. You can be very, very unique. And here we get to know how unique you can think, how wild you can think. So this probably it will fire your thought process after you surf on the internet, not right away, because there are a lot of information have gone into you by now. So now it's time to assimilate yourself, scan them through your search, through your study, and you will get to know. So whenever you're done, we are available here. You can share. Okay, Prachi.
Sir, I have a question. Sir,
Yes.
is it necessary that the environmental graphics should be replicatable?
Sorry, come again.
Sir, is it necessary that the environmental graphics that we are creating, it should be like we can is it necessary that it should be replicated again and again, or it can be a one masterpiece kind of a thing?
It can be also. It can be also. If it is one, it is done one. It can be permanent. It can be permanent. It can be also semi-permanent. Okay. So once it is semi-permanent, there you think of, there are a lot of logistics comes to it. Okay. So option is yours. It can be both. All right, Divyam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it can be one or it can be also replicated in many places. Anybody else? Any doubt? Samriddhi? All right. So you carry on. All right. So, all right, Priyanka ji. So they will study through internet. they do some research about environmental graphic, and they will probably couple of designs, they will write about it, and in the process they also sharpen their thought process and their understanding. Okay, Priyanka ji, anything else that I left? You can add, please.
No, I think so. You covered it all very well.
All right. So, students, all the best. As I said, you can go wild, okay, in your thought process, and we both are here to hold the rein of your wild horses, wild thinking, and we can, as I said, you can freak in this assignment and with your creativity, with your wild thought process. All the best, everyone.
Absolutely, sir.
Sir, sir, do we have to research about environmental graphics in general or a specific field?
Sorry.
Do we have to research now environmental graphics in general, or we have to select a specific field?
No, in general.
Okay.
You do the research in general, and while your research, you may find something interesting work, design, and you collect them. And why do you like it? Why, I mean, what makes you so interesting?
Okay.
Okay, you will write about it. So at a couple of them you will collect.
Okay.
So, sir, are we supposed to compile all of them like a presentation or something?
Yes, not all of them. Couple of that you love, maybe 3 or 4, so that while doing this, you basically sharpen your understanding, because this will help you to go ahead with the next assignment, the module 2, that you will be doing it for a specific subject.
Got it, sir.
Good. All right. So we are here whenever you need, okay?